everybody. My name is Ronen Castro. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thanks for inviting me. I know many of you, and today I'll tell you about AcuSurgical, a company that I joined 6 months ago to manage. It's originally a French company from Montpellier in the south of France, which is a beautiful city, that was established by robotic experts, for example, Christophe, that is here together with me, and retinal surgeons. We have developed Luca, which is our robotic platform, which I'll tell you about. And we have completed our first in human, and we are now moving to our clinical regulatory process with the FDA. So, as you know, many surgical procedures are now going robotics, and this is a list of the many robotic companies that are currently trying to bring a robotic, already brought robotic system to market. But ophthalmology is still a blue ocean for surgical robotics. And there is a reason, because ophthalmic surgery, as you know, is a very challenging procedure. First, the eye is very small. It's about 22 to 25 millimeter in size. It's very fragile. It's very sensitive to touch, to light, to movement. As you know, it's a closed system. The balance is really important. It's vision dependence, so we don't want to compromise it. But from technological point of view, the precision we need in order to work with a robot in the eye is about 10 times more than a Da Vinci. Da Vinci was designed for the laparoscopic space. In the eye, in such a confined space, the accuracy is a key. Also, because it's such a confined space, we don't want any parasitic movements. So the motion control of a robot translating the human hand into a robotic movement, it's critical. So our strategy is retina first. Why? Yes, cataract is the biggest market, but it's also very standardized and very fast procedure. Retina, on the other hand, is very complex, very demanding procedure. The main challenges today in retina is first precision, physiological tremor. Then we are looking at the image through a microscope, which means that sometimes the image is blurry. There's no tactile feedback, so we rely on the image, right? We cannot really feel what we do. And it takes a long time to master retinal surgery. So when we speak about retinal surgery, we speak about, just to remind you, because I guess all of you know, but a group of many different pathologies like retinal detachment, all tears, etc., vein occlusion, etc. So our main challenge was how we take a really complex procedure like retinal surgery and make it really easy for almost everyone to do with the robot. And second, also allow new treatments in the subretinal space. So with Luca, our robot, we made retinal surgery easy by moving from what it is today, a microsurgery, to a micro-level surgery. And we do it, and our vision is simple yet strong. We would like to change the standard of care in retinal surgery by shifting from manual to robotic surgery. And we do it with Luca. So as you can see, the surgeon is sitting behind an open console, which we call a piloting station. He's driving 2 robotic arms that are basically holding the vitrectomy instruments. And we have a system named Advisor that is taking the image from the microscope and translating it into a 3D augmented real-time image on screen in front of the patient. Very similar to Da Vinci, by the way. So these are pictures from one of the surgeries, the first surgeries we did, and I'll show you a video. So what you can see here basically is it's a lady surgeon from Belgium. She is sitting behind the console. She's driving the robot. In front of her is the 3D screen, and you'll see the robotic arms next to the patient working on his eye and basically mimic her hands movement. There is an assistant. He's sitting there. He doesn't really need to do anything, just change instruments if needed to. So in terms of the platform, it's a platform. Right now we have developed our first generation. I can't really go inside all the details because we try to remain still under the radar. There's a lot of innovation there, but I think you can understand that with computer vision, with AI, with data, where we are going, closing the loop with visualization. In terms of the team, in the company, we have management team that is very experienced people coming from medical devices, mainly ophthalmology and robotics, our investors. And by the way, we have an ecosystem of advisors now, also Israeli ones, service providers, consultants, so I'm very proud about it. So in conclusion, because my time is running out, if there is a procedure that is a microsurgery procedure that requires ultra precision, it's ophthalmology and especially retina, and we can definitely bring much more precision and controllability, and later on automated steps and much, much more. It's still an untapped market because, as you know, there is still no commercially available robotic system in ophthalmology. It's a software-driven device, which means it will grow and will evolve and will become smarter and smarter, and eventually will be able to do a lot of things that are very difficult to do today manually. So we have did our first human patients, and we are now quickly moving, also with Israeli consultants, to our FDA clinical regulatory process, and we have a team that some of us, part of our board, already did it, a team that is very committed to what we are doing, and we have a very clear vision. We have a very, I fully agree with everything that Daria was saying. Nobody will do it for you. We well understand it. Robotic surgery is very challenging. To bring a robotic system to market in ophthalmology, it's a long journey. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for inviting me, and I'll be glad to answer any question afterwards.
I'm humbled by the presentations that I heard that do amazing things like retina surgeries with robots, eye nerves regeneration. So we will do something much more simpler. We want to help optometrists and ophthalmologists with diagnostics of eyes alignment and movement disorders. These are much less dangerous, but very extremely prevalent problems. Hundreds of millions of people in the world have them. These problems, because of these problems like convergence insufficiency, children read less. Adults may have nauseous headaches, and all these problems influence quality of our life, and we want, and as opposite to refractive problems that we have and many other problems, there is no automatic ways today to diagnose them, and the golden standards in diagnosis of these alignment problems are actually based on the manual tests like near point of convergence measurement, or standard, golden standard for strabismus is a cover test, that when we close one of the eyes and then eye that is closed, doesn't see the target, starts escaping outside exophoria or inside esophoria or exotropia if this condition is more severe. And then practitioner opens the eye and sees that there is a movement. And now he needs to use prism, like here on the image, which is not easy because you need 3 hands to hold the target, to hold the prism, to understand how much eye actually escapes. This is a simple procedure, but it requires skills, and accuracy on average of this procedure is not very high. And there is a requirement for it to be higher, especially if you want to understand what's going on. A practitioner wants to measure before surgery, after surgery, if he is ophthalmologist, or you want to prescribe prisms or do some vision treatment, vision therapy, and you want to understand if it helps. So we want to measure over the time how the condition changes. And till now, the automatic measurements didn't go so well. So what differentiates our company is a new way to track the eye's alignment. So we can measure really accurately, without any user calibration, the location and direction of the eye from the single stereo frame. And this is, we believe, the main gap between why eye tracking technologies is not used in medical practice today enough. And so our solution is accurate and easy to use. These are the two main claims that we have. Here is an example of Professor Herbert Jagler in Germany in our latest clinical trials. He does the standard cover test for the patient. So he covers one of the eyes and sees how and sees if there is escape, if there is a movement outside or inside. In this specific case, this patient, she actually has very strong exotropia, and you can, there is a laser here, yes? Somewhere, okay. So you can see that her eye escapes really strong outside, more than 20 degrees, and when it doesn't see the target, then it jumps back, and actually our system allows to measure the wavefront of the eye movement and the amplitude extremely accurately, and this is the whole information that practitioner needs to decide on the treatment. If it's small exophoria, then maybe he don't need to do anything. If it's exotropia, then after he measures this over some time, like 4 months, and sees that the condition deteriorates, then maybe he needs to do a surgery, or maybe he wants to do vision therapy or introduce prisms. There are many solutions, and all of them require some accuracy. Another example when accurate eye tracking can help is nystagmus. If with nystagmatic eye movement, you cannot calibrate eye tracking system. So our system that doesn't require any calibration, just in seconds brings you the amplitude and the wavefront of the nystagmus, and this is what practitioner needs to decide on the treatment. If it's infantile nystagmus, then no treatment exists usually. But if this is drug-induced nystagmus or some other condition, then you want to measure it, and we can do it in practitioner's office and at home really easily, and that's the product that we want to create. Right now we did so. Beside neuro-ophthalmological problems, there is a wide range of conditions that can be diagnosed with when you have accurate and easy to use eye tracking systems, like mild traumatic brain injury, early diagnostics of degenerative brain diseases, and autism. And some of the companies already get FDA approvals in this area, some are working on it. But we believe that our technology can address most of these issues. So right now we did successful pilot studies in UC Berkeley School of Optometry and in Regensburg University in Germany, and we are looking for round A investment to start regulatory process, which will be 510K, and to go to market. Thank you.
Good afternoon. EyeMed develops a postoperative adjustable lens that will enable the physician to adjust the power of the lens in a non-invasive, office-based, simple treatment after the surgery. Even though cataract is widely performed, there is still a significant number of cases in which patients are left with residual refractive error. What can these patients do? They can be sent home with a residual refractive error or wear corrective glasses, but these solutions are burden on their lives. They can also go through an additional surgery with its potential risks, and this is something to consider. But what if we could do it postoperatively in a very simple way? Non-invasively. This is what Valence is all about, an innovative IOL cradle system with a postoperative adjustable lens position, which can use any premium lens available in the market. It enables non-invasive refractive optimization after lens implantation and wound healing using an off-the-shelf equipment continuous green laser available in cataract practice. Valence treatment is repeatable, and adjustments can be done in office without a burden for the patient. EyeMed is supported by a strong professional team from around the world. Let's go and see a video clip describing our technology. The spheric IOL is injected into the back of the eye, the back of the lens, as any other cataract surgery. If needed and there is a refractive error, physician can dilute the pupil, expose the nitinol mechanism, and use continuous green laser to activate the mechanism with 3 predefined steps of 0.35 to 1.05 diopters for each direction, anteriorly or posteriorly, as you can see here. The same concept implemented in the toric IOL, as you can see. A physician can activate the nitinol mechanism by suture lysis with the continuous green laser in 3 predefined steps of 5 to 15 degrees, counterclockwise or clockwise direction. Here you can see the spheric IOL folded into the injector as any other regular lens. And then you will see how it is injected into in vivo rabbit eye, implanted in the right location in the eye. And then we will be able to see the adjustment of the lens here in a lab view to understand from a side view and a top view. We use the continuous green laser to suture lysis and to release the springs of the mechanism to adjust the lens posteriorly. And in vivo rabbit eye, how it's done. Same in the lab, but in vivo eye. And the lens will move posteriorly. I will now illustrate the outcome of the in vivo study conducted in rabbit eyes. In this slide, you can see on the right a noticeable difference in rabbit eye before and after anterior adjustment of the lens. We concluded 13 implantations successfully and activated them anteriorly or posteriorly and follow up to 2.5 months with 3 physicians showing no usability issues. In this case study, we can see the timeline of the adjusted IOL. So this is day 0 after the implantation, and this is in day 16 when we adjusted the lens posteriorly. You can see on the left before the adjustment where the lens is positioned according to the cornea and the iris, and on the right how it moved posteriorly. The eye kept very comfortable 4 weeks follow-up, and then 8 weeks follow-up. You can see a very nice OCT view of the posterior lens movement. And then after enucleated the eye, we can see the Miyake apple view and the interaction between the device and the tissue, which is very fine. Valence spheric design features are as follows. Optic size 5 mm, implant length 13 mm, modified C-loop, haptic design, sharp 360 square edge, posterior edge, and currently we're using a 2.8 mm incision size injector. EyeMed develops 3 different products under the Valence name. Spheric IOL, either monofocal or multifocal, that will address presbyopia by lens posterior and anterior movements. Toric IOL, that will address astigmatism error with rotational movements, and the integrated device in the future. The specification towards first-in-human study of each product are described in this slide. EyeMed plans to commence with the spheric IOL towards the end of this year. And EyeMed's vision is to achieve emmetropia without glasses for any implanted patient. Thank you.
Which laser do you use?
Continuous green laser.
Which is available in any...
Which is available very commonly in cataract practice. Thank you.
Meanwhile, hello everyone. I'm Raz. I'm actually replacing Yechiam. He's in Miluim, so I'm the co-founder and the CTO of the company. I'll tell you about BlinkAid. So BlinkAid is a company developing a new solution for dry eyes. Does anyone here have any idea how many times they blinked during the session? Well, I guess not, but let me tell you something. When we were so concentrated on the fascinating presentations, the blinking rates reduced from healthy blinking rates of 15 to 20 times a minute down to something like 5 and maybe even 2 times a minute. And low blinking rates lead to faster evaporation of the tear layer and in turn to dry eyes. No, again, this is not a presentation. So BlinkAid is developing a new wearable device that is able to both monitor your blinking rates and also induce blinks. It comes in the form of glasses. Okay, so these are the glasses. I put them on my face. These glasses have a unique set of electrodes embedded in their nose pads. And these nose pads can both record my electrical activity in real time and also transmit mild electrical currents that actually make me blink. So if I wear them like this on my face, you can see live feed in my phone showing real-time electrical signals. And every time I blink, right, was the camera? Okay. Every time I blink, there's a real-time detection of the blinks from the signal. And when it comes to making me blink, when I'm trying to make myself blink, I can actually click the smile face, and it sends electrical signals to my left eye. I can change it to my right eye. And these electrical signals are personalized for my anatomy. They trigger the orbicularis ocular muscle, and they contract it. So we actually have a closed-loop system that both monitors electrical activity and detects blinks in real time, and can also transmit blinks, ensuring the correct pace of blinks, and supplementing if I go below the required threshold so that my blinking rate is healthy and I prevent dry eyes. With this, I assume we'll end the presentation. Thank you for your patience, and toda raba lekulam.
Good afternoon. My name is Yonina T. I'm an optometrist and the clinical specialist at Revital Vision. And as the last presenter of the day, I would like to thank you all for staying up for my presentation. We are a digital health company. We offer a unique solution. That utilizes neuroplasticity and algorithms to improve vision. There is a huge unmet need of hundreds of millions of people with poor or insufficient vision, which cannot be further improved by existing vision treatments. It includes amblyopia beyond the critical age, patients with low vision from various eye diseases, and unhappy post-cataract refractive surgery patients, which in many cases are emmetropic with 20/20 vision. There are also millions of people with a minor refractive error who would like to be less dependent on glasses. Current vision treatments are focused on bending light rays and restoring the anatomy of the eyes. Our solution is to teach the brain to see better. Revital Vision improves vision by enhancing the brain's ability to process visual information, resulting in significant vision improvement beyond current treatments. We offer 3 main programs: to improve best-corrected vision in amblyopia and stable pathologies beyond the critical age, 9 and up, to improve contrast sensitivity and facilitate neuroadaptation post-cataract and refractive surgery, and to improve uncorrected vision in patients with a minor refractive error. The product is a home-based vision training app that effectively stimulates the brain's visual cortex. Its algorithm and cloud-based technology tailored to specific patient need. The clinical outcomes are significant improvement in vision, 100% in contrast sensitivity function, more than 2 lines on the VA chart, and many amblyopic and nystagmus patients improve stereo and binocular vision. Revital Vision is based on solid science. The software uses proprietary visual stimulation technique that induces high neural response in specific neurons in the primary visual cortex. There are 28 clinical studies proving the efficacy in different indications, 12 published in peer-reviewed journals. 8 of them are randomized controlled studies. 5 additional RCTs are ongoing. I would like to share our recent data on patients with keratoconus. This keratoconus study was presented at the recent ASCRS meeting in Boston. It's a randomized controlled study on stable keratoconus patients at least 1 year post cross-linking surgery. It included 20 patients in the study group and 10 in the control group with best-corrected vision between 6:12 and 6:30. They performed 40 home training sessions during a 3-month period with 6 months follow-up post-treatment. The average improvement was 2.5 lines on the visual acuity chart and 100% in contrast sensitivity. This study was recently published in the American Journal of Ophthalmology. It's a prospective, randomized, controlled, double-mask study evaluating the efficacy of Revital vision in non-progressing keratoconus patients who were intolerant to contact lenses. Randomized 1-to-1, 17 patients included in the treatment group and 18 in the control group who trained with a placebo model. They trained 40 sessions over a 3-month period and were followed up 6 months post-treatment. The average improvement was 1.7 lines logMAR in the study group versus no improvement in the control, which was statistically significant. There was also improvement in stereo and contrast sensitivity in the study group. This keratoconus study was done at Shamir Medical Center. It will be presented at the upcoming ASCRS meeting in Los Angeles. It's a prospective, randomized controlled study evaluating the efficacy of Revital vision in non-progressing keratoconus patients with poor best-corrected vision. 11 patients included in the study group and 6 in the control. They performed 40 home training sessions during a 3-month period with 6 months follow-up post-treatment. They improved 2.5 lines in distance best-corrected vision and 2.8 lines for near. Significant improvement was measured in contrast sensitivity, with many patients reporting on subjective improvement. In summary, all 3 studies reported statistically significant outcomes, with improvements ranging from 1.7 to 2.8 logMAR lines in best-corrected visual acuity. Many participants noticed subjective vision improvement. These findings should encourage corneal specialists to consider Revital vision as a post-operative therapeutic adjuvant for keratoconus patients who have exhausted their treatment options yet remain dissatisfied with their vision. Thank you.